friends. It is Chrissy from the past. Today's April the 12th, and I'm coming on because I made a huge decision. So this week, due to some weird, medical dizzy weirdness, fine, by the way, I'm sure I've talked about this already today on the podcast. I had more knitting time than I even thought I might possibly this last week. And so I've really kind of delved in deep, and I've put on loads of stitches on loads of projects. My 2 sweaters, my Beatles mittens, and my socks, the color palette socks. And so because I've been kind of cycling through these things, I was like, well, I should probably pick up that triumvirate of things from my Advent yarn. And the way I haven't put stitches on them in a long time, a really, really long time. And the reason is because I have to start with the Advent scarf that I'm doing called the Quest. I picked it up today. I took a look at it. I did a row because I'd gotten past the brioche. I really like the brioche sections. But I found there were too many stitches. I was looking at it. I'm not liking it. And I've talked about this before. I don't think there's anything wrong with the pattern itself. What I don't like is the match of the pattern with the yarn. I find that the yarn is a bit busy for all the lace work. I think, again, that if there wasn't lace and it was brioche and then stockinette, I'd actually really, really like it. I think that'd be better. But the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm realizing I don't want to knit on this. And it's holding me up from 2 other projects. So I hardly ever do this. I'm not even going to pillowcase it. This thing's getting frogged. It's getting frogged right now. And I'm just going to work on the 2 other projects. I do wonder, because I was wondering if I was going to have enough yarn to finish my sweater. I'm definitely going to have enough yarn now because it's just going into some socks and then straight on. So that's delightful. And I'm, as much as I'm a little sad that my plans didn't come to pass because I really like a plan. I'm actually not sad about this at all. It means one less project for me to have to focus on. It means I can reclaim a bag. It means I can get on with my knitting and have things faster. And I can be joyful about it. Now, what's funny is Josh is going to actually be sad about it. I'm not sad about it. Am I going to reclaim the yarn? I think I will. I don't know. I also have the yarn from the first round of the Beatles mittens. That might be a project where I basically pull all that stuff out and all of that goes into the sea glass tea later. Let me see how easy it is to frog what I have currently going. The problem is I am really good at sewing in my ends as things go. So it might be tricky. But if I can reclaim some of it, I will. And I will actually knit that into my sea glass tea today. Whatever lengths I got. And that's fine because it's supposed to be scrappy, right? And I don't mind knitting with wiggly squiggly yarn at all. But I am very much looking forward to sending this guy to the frog pond. So we're doing that now. Let me show you where it is. I just did battle 7 and I did win it, but I don't want to do it. So there you go. So yeah, I find for my taste, it just, the lace doesn't read. And I don't know. I kind of like these guys. This isn't one of those advent calendars where colors flow one into the other easily. And I kind of prefer those. Now, the other option is I hold off on actually frogging this back because I have an idea for another project using scrappy yarn. I saw this dress. It's a new one. It's on Ravelry, and I had plans to use my advent calendar from 2020. Wait, what year is it? Wow, this is 26. Was it 24? Whenever I started my new job, it was the one that it's the Art Nouveau colorway from Felicity Yarn something. Anyway, I have all these beautiful, beautiful yarns. The plan is I'm not going to use anything that doesn't fit in that collection, but if anything looks in my mini skeins that aren't sparkle that could go with that, I am planning to pair that with a neutral, like a natural color. And there's a beautiful dress pattern. It's exactly what I was looking for. I'm actually going to look at all of my leftovers and stuff, and I'm going to do a stripedy version of it. It is so pretty. And my cat's trying to get the leftovers of my banana, orange, strawberry smoothie. But I am planning on knitting that at some point, which that one sounds delightful because I do like a knit dress, and I do wear the ones that I've bought, but I've never knit one. So yeah, that is something that I am very much looking forward to. I've got plenty of neutral yarn to bulk that out, but if I can use up tons of my scraps that feel like they kind of fit in that collection, listen, that sounds like a huge, amazing plan to me. And some of these I think could potentially go in there. Not all of them. Not all of them. Like that bright pink, orange, pink, yellow, probably not. But like this kind of that color or that color, sure, why not? Some of these colors definitely will. So, and I have plenty of stash minis as well, or partial skeins that likely will too. So yeah, and maybe down the line I do a crazy, the other thing I was thinking about, the crazy stripes tee that I've had that in my library. I think it's in my library. I was planning on knitting it long time ago, and I'm like, that's another great one that I could use all these minis up, do just like a crazy stripe in one color. Why not? And then, but I'd have to have a main color. So that's the only thing is like the main color, you have to have enough of the main color. But I can always get a neutral that's really inexpensive. Like, it'd be kind of cool doing it black. That could be fun. Anyway, enough dream knitting. Let's get this to the frog pond. Hello, everybody. Chrissy from the past again. So, it's still that Sunday. And I am just absolutely moved to clean out my Ravelry library. So once upon a time, when I was first new to this knitting malarkey, and I had been crocheting for a long time, I saved all of the patterns in my library that were savable. And at one point I did, I think, clean out most of my library with the things that were discontinued free patterns. So I'm looking through them now, and I am getting rid of so many patterns because some of them do cost money now, and most of those I am keeping. But if it's a free pattern on Ravelry, but it's something I won't knit, I'm totally getting rid of it out of my library. I may even go so far, because a lot of these things I have never ever knit, I may go so far as to see if anybody else wants them before I totally delete them. I know you can't gift patterns, so that's the only problem. That's a bummer. I mean, you can gift them if you buy them, but you can't gift them if you've never knit them and they're just sitting in your Ravelry library. Now, I will say most of these were not bought. They were I would go on every single day to see what pattern was being offered for free before it became paid. And some of them, I don't even know why I saved them. Tastes have definitely changed. Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at now. And I'm going through my 18 pages of Ravelry patterns to see what I want to keep. Because that feels productive and spring cleaning like. I've also, I've been knitting on my 24-day socks, as well as my, what tea is it? It's the sea glass tea. Yeah, I did a little bit of knitting on that. So I'm going to put on a podcast for a little bit. I do want to get out. It's really pretty out. I do want to get out and take a nice long walk. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a podcast and for the next hour or so, kind of do crafty like things and then go take a nice long walk. I did a little cleaning too today. Little cleaning. I do need to take down my Christmas tree, which has been a St. Patrick's Day tree. I never did put the Easter ornaments on it. So I need to take that down because it's getting annoying. And I want to, kind of tidy a few things up that are driving me crazy. At some point I need to go through my closet too and put into storage things that won't be like maybe formal dresses that I'm not going to wear anytime soon. Oh. Yeah, there's like stuff I gotta do, like spring cleaning type stuff. And I need to do my taxes, and I really don't want to do my taxes. We will do my taxes this week, because it is April the 12th, and they're due on April the 15th. But I'll do that probably on Tuesday night. It does not take me more than usually like a couple hours for me to do my taxes. So anyway, so we're going to get back to the spring cleaningness of it all, and I'll see you later. The ends. Time to weave in. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is Chrissy from Knitting in the Heights. It's so lovely to see you all back. We are ending the month of April, and so I figured I'd kind of catch up with you guys before May hits. It's interesting because the way the wheel of the year works, the cast-ons that I'm doing this year are about every 6 weeks or so. And it just so happens there wasn't a new one in April, but I did get a chance to work a lot on some of my projects because I had a few days I had to work from home. And on those days, I was like sick or dealing with some things. And so because of that, I spent a lot of time just sitting and knitting in bed. I'm okay. Everything's fine. We're just trying to figure some things out medically. But we believe we've cracked the nut. I also had a cold over the weekend, and it just made me slow down. And what are you going to do but binge watch the things like Game of Thrones again for the 4th or 5th time and knit. So let me show you what I'm up to. I'm actually going to start with some Happy Mail I got a while ago that I don't think I ever showed. I think this might be my last purchase for the year. Help me hold myself to that, you guys, because I have so much yarn, and you guys know this if you've been here, a long time. You know how much beautiful yarn I have. I don't really need any more. I have so many projects planned, but I saw this yarn and I just could not resist. It's glorious. So let me take it out of its crinkly packaging. If it bugs you, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. By the way, for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, I'm Chrissy. This is kind of backwards, but I'm Chrissy. I am a knitter that lives in New York City. I'm also a musician, and I run a music and art school here in New York. I have 2 kiddos, Gabriel and Colleen, and they're doing great, actually. So let's take a look at the yarn I got. So I did a sneaky little purchase from Breadalicious Yarns. I discovered this yarn dyer about over a year ago. I was in Virginia, and I was at a local yarn store there trying to find some travel yarn, you know how you do, as a souvenir, but also trying to find presents for folks. And so I found this dyer and I really liked them. And so I looked them up and some of the stuff was on sale. So anyway, here are the colorways. They're all, they're all in the same base. And I'm even considering whether or not these should become a fade. 3 of them could, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, the first one is this colorway. It's called Winter Cottage. It's really pretty. I think it would make really pretty Christmassy socks. I've got a lot of sock yarn for Christmas socks, but this could be a good cast on. That could be fun. I got this one called Into the Pacific. Oh my God. This blue, the cerulean, is like glowing. That's real pretty. So this is very much colorway that would be after my friend Josh, his heart. He would love this. But anyway, yeah, it's like glowing. So pretty. Then this is the one that actually made me stop and stare and just be like, oh my God, I love this. This is called Time Zone. And it is so cool. You see all those cool colors? I love those colors. But this is my favorite color of all time, I think. This is called I Am Beautiful, Boys Will Love Me. And I want to say this is a colorway based on, what is the name of that movie? It's a movie. Hocus Pocus. So, yes. But look, this is literally all of my favorite things in one skein of yarn. So this is not going to anybody but me. This is not ever going to be, because it's like the perfect, it's like the perfect maple tree fall colors. I love it. It's like these are literally all of my favorite colors. So anyway, I'm so excited about those new purchases. They are going to live, crinkle. They're going to live in my yarn closet, one of my yarn closets. So let me show you this. So the 24-day socks are almost done. Today, I actually finished the toe on the first sock. And so this light blue is kind of pulling those colors together, giving it some cohesion. And yes, there's lots of different colored stripes. But for me, that actually feels better. So I pretty much followed most of the pattern. I messed up some of the patterning. There's some mild patterning in between these rows, but then I fixed it as we went on. I did change up the heel. I did an eye of partridge because I figured it would show up really well on this like solid baby blue, and it sure does. And I basically combined 2 heel patterns on this one. I combined the Hermione's Everyday pattern, but made it a eye of partridge for this part. Okay. The heel turn is from 'Twas the Night Before Christmas by Little Bobbins. Because I was just like for some reason I was really struggling with the heel turn. I think it's because it's a smaller circumference. This pattern, I think it was 56 stitches. But anyway, I did my normal toe, which is basically decrease around, knit around, decrease around all the way until you get 14 stitches left on each side, and then Kitchener it together. The biggest challenge with this is the end. Sorry, that was an interruption by my child. Let my cat in who wanted to come in. Gabriel also got sick this weekend, so he's home today from school. Anyway, but every single one of these colors had 2 ends. So I have more ends to weave in on this sock, although it's almost done. Last night, I gave up the ghost and just decided to focus on one sock. But I'm almost concurrent, which is kind of cool. I think I have 3 more colors to add on this sock. Let me show you real quick. So 3 more colors to add, and then the toe. And then again, it's going to be all the ends. I do project that I will be done with these before May 1st, which I think is important because I really wanted to get something off the needles before my next cast on. So I think that's important. I'm casting on for Beltane, I'll be casting on the beach ball tee, which I've talked about before, using leftover yarns. It'll be actually using that baby blue. It'll start with that baby blue, and then it's gonna fade down because the beach ball tee is like a fade. So it's gonna fade down from the baby blue into like other blues and turquoises into actually coral colors, which is really cool. I've got this one color that has speckles of coral in a baby blue, and like it's a really cool transition. So I'm looking forward to that. And it will kind of remind me of sunsets and bonfires at sunset, which is perfect for Beltane. Okay, so anyhow, so we're finishing these. So this was one of my Advent cast on projects. So we're getting close on that. Now on the, let me take this out. This is the sea glass tee I've been working on. I have done some work, and the last time you saw it is where, there's a lot of stitch markers, but it's where our little squirrel is. The squirrel stitch marker was the last time you saw it. So yeah, I've added some. And what this has been great for is to actually put in leftovers from other things that I finished, or little nubbins of yarn I've just found that just need to be used up. Like nothing that I could put in anything else. I am purposely avoiding using sparkle yarn because I plan to make another one of these that's just all sparkle. So yeah, so this is really using leftovers, and I have a whole bag to mix and match. I'm going to try to make it a little bit more scrappy, less like stripy, because if you keep with the same colorway for a long time, it starts to look stripy. But I'm going to try to focus on making this a lot more scrappy looking. The only challenge is going to be all those ends to weave in. That's fun. It's not fun. I've done it before. It's not. That's the not fun part. Okay, other projects I have been working on. So we have 3 other projects I have been working on. I think it's 3. We'll find out. So the first one, we're going to go to another pair of socks. This is living in my fabulous bunny bag. I have been working on this really cool pattern. This is the color palette socks. I was actually where this butterfly is the last time you saw it. So I have definitely added some rows, and I need to put these in DPN holders ASAP before I start to lose stitches. But I have just started the heel on the first sock. These are not being knit concurrently, but they are delightful for when I need some plain knitting. Apartment living means you put your camera wherever you can. This is right where there's a door right by the front door to the apartment building. I have 2 like front doors because at one point I think this was like divided into more apartments or something. And so when anytime anybody comes in, you can hear it because literally the front door to the apartment building is right on the other side of the camera. So somebody came in with their kiddos. All right. So anyhow, this is using leftovers from Green Lambkin yarns. The black though, this kind of like almost black color, this charcoal gray, dark charcoal, is ash from a homespun house. This was leftover from my Stephen West shawl. By the way, I will talk about that in a moment. That's the Stephen West and future plans for knitting. So anyway, this is really beautiful. I really like how it's making the other colors pop. This is like the green pickle colorway. This is the bunny hop colorway. This is another, it's like Irish something. It was like the Irish one from that Christmases Around the World. And then I have some other colors I'll be using. I'll be using that gray. I'll be using this color, which is supposed to represent Hong Kong. And where's the other one? There's one more. It's like a stripedy one. I think this is the next color after the heel, actually. So my plan is to kind of go like this, because that's basically how much more yarn I need. I'm still gonna have leftovers, guys. It's inevitable, but because those are sparkle yarns, those can go into the bag that's gonna hold all the sparkle leftovers for the next sea glass tee, which will be delightful. All right, so yeah, so this is coming along. I'm doing a slip stitch heel on this one. I have partridge because I can barely see it as is because of the color. I'm pretty sure this is a slip stitch heel. It's so dark. It's hard to tell. But yeah, that's coming along. And this was my cast on which holiday? For Ostara, because it's a bunny cast on. So Ostara is the precursor. It's the pagan precursor to Easter. And bunnies and fertility figure prominently in that holiday. Okay, the next one that I've worked quite a bit on. Actually, this has been delightful. Even I found myself picking this up more and more. This is The Finest Kind by Alicia Plummer. Oh, look at how much I've done. If you take a look down here where that unicorn, where are you? That unicorn is, that's how much I've knit, which is quite a bit. What I'm doing is I am using 2 magic knot balls, or well, multiple magic knot balls, but I'm holding 2 yarns from 2 magic knot balls together to create this crazy merled effect. Josh was telling me it kind of looks like Noro yarn, and he is not incorrect. It really does sort of look like Noro yarn. And then I'm holding that with mohair in the Mountain Taupe colorway from Craftily Dyed Yarn. And it is really very soft. It's going to be super warm. I think I would want to wear a t-shirt underneath this. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. But it is super soft. And it's going to be an oversized kind of t-shirt on me, or sweater on me. So I'm excited to continue to work on this. I'm not sure how much more I have to go. I really need to measure it, but I remember the body being super long, before you get to the armholes, because it's knit from, it's knit, bottom up, but you have to go quite a ways. I don't even think I can go far enough back to show you, but yeah, you have to go quite a ways before you split for the armholes. So yeah, that's coming along. And I was working on that actually when I didn't feel like changing yarn anymore in my socks, because it was plain. When I was sick, I was like, oh, I can't change any more yarn. So I worked on that for like a little bit, and that felt really good to work on that. All right. What is this? Yes, my Beatles mittens have gotten some work too. Now this was a New Year's Day cast on. The Finest Kind, I can't remember. I cast that on before the holidays last December. Like, I can't remember the exact date, but it was a while ago. My Beatles mittens have come along. I put in a marker so you could see where I was. So I did a little bit. So that's the palm. For someone who is sick, my child wants candy. He's going to walk to the bodega. He'll be right back. It's literally around the corner. I've started trusting him to go to the bodega, and he can also go to the fruit stand for me. So we got to train him sometime. Anyhow, so here are my Beatles mittens. I'm really excited about these. I did work on them. I do need to have like some brain power to work on them because they are color work. But here's the palm of the hand. Okay. And here's the front. I got to make sure I'm not dropping any stitches. Again, I really should be using DPN holders. Once I get done with those socks, I'll steal it. But yeah, there's John Lennon's face, and we're starting Ringo's face. So this is exciting. I'm using 2 colors from 2 different advent calendars. The background color is from Felicity Yarn Studio. I think it was I got her Art Nouveau calendar in 2023. And so this was the 25th day scheme. And then this was for the astrology one. I think it's maybe Gem State Yarns. It's the Cancer colorway, because I'm a Cancer. So like you told her when your birth date was, and she actually gave you the colorway for your sign, which I thought was pretty cool. And I like them together. I think they're super cool. I think they complement, and like, I think they really like you could really see the pattern. There's no competing because that teal is so strong. So yeah, that's fun. So yeah, the Beatles mittens are coming. There is no hurry on these, simply because, let's face it, it's starting to get warm outside. But I would like to have them by next autumn. So I have new mittens by next autumn. I'd also like to do some other fingersmiths or something, but we'll see how much time I have. I might have a lot because I do have a surgery coming up. All right, what else? There's one last project I've been working on. Oopsie. Something fell on the floor. So this is I'm trying to remember the name of it's the Poisoned Apple Top. This was my in bulk cast on for this year. And the colors are Orange Tulip and Spring Awakens. And I've also done quite a bit of work on the body on this one. I could work on this one more, to be honest with you. This is also really plain knitting. Once those socks are done, I think I really want to focus on this one. I don't think I'll be able to wear it this season. Probably not till the autumn because it really is starting to get warm in New York. Okay, so here is my in bulk cast on. Sorry for all the edits. There's some craziness going on today. All right, so I knit all of that, which is great. It is very plain knitting. This is the perfect knitting for binge watching. I do want to get those socks done. And then I go back to this. I'd like to finish the body pretty soon, which is very possible because it's DK weight. So yeah, the color Spring Awakens is by, I'm on my third skein now? Second skein. I can't remember. I think it's my second skein. Maybe it's my third skein. No, it's my third skein. I'm on my third skein of yarn now because I went through the other two. It's by Amplifiber and it's so pretty. But yeah, I just think it's going to be too warm to wear this right now, but in the autumn, it's going to be epic. But look at that color. I know it's funny because I'll be wearing it in the autumn and it'll be Spring Awakens, but that's okay. The thing I'm supposed to make for the autumn is probably going to be ready in the spring. Whatever. Whatevs. This is slow fashion. This is not fast fashion here. I don't know. If you can knit faster, all power to you. I just don't have that kind of time in my life. But anyway, we're doing this and it's looking great. Okay, so it will come in. It'll cinch in more at the top. And then there's going to be puff sleeves. And then I did the bust darts, which were really well written. I think I said the last time that I came on here, this pattern is so well written. I really, really enjoy it. In fact, I'm going to steal the idea for the puff sleeves for another project I have planned in my dream knitting, you guys, because I'm all about a puff sleeve. It looks good on my body. Anyway, so that's my knitting. How's your knitting going? Is it going well? How's your mojo? My mojo's there. Being sick has helped me do more. But we're about to hit concert season. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But if I keep getting sick and stuff, who knows? Hopefully I don't. The plan is to stay well for the rest of the spring, as long as my allergies stay under control. Anyway, let me know what you're working on down below. Yeah, let me know. Are you casting something on for Beltane? Are you going to cast something on for summer? I do have plans for for the rest of the season until next December, what my cast-ons are going to be. And we're going to finish what we finish when we finish it. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, everybody. See you later. Bye.